Hello, and welcome back to A Cage Sustained, Season 2, Episode 1. I'm Chris Bernal, aka Crifu, and I am the Game Master for this Curse of the Crimson Throne dramatic actual play. Thank you for joining us here tonight. I'm very excited to start the second book of Curse of the Crimson Throne, 7 Days to the Grave. With me, I have the returning cast members of A Cage Sustained, which I will now allow themselves to introduce themselves to you.
Hello, my name is Liza. I play Confidence Bright, the Halfling Inquisitor of Abadar and the Commissioner of the Corvosan Intelligence Agency, the official government body that is this ragtag group of adventurers.
Hi, I'm Sylviana, and I play Ivor Locks, who is a 17-year-old human aerokineticist and the head babysitter for the Sable Company. He is also the Sable Company's representative to the KIA.
Hi, I'm Pooja, and I play Simran, who is a human passing, but actually Sylph Magus. She is 19 years old and a fifth-year student at the Academy, and one of the two Academy representatives on the KIA.
You're muted.
Hear you.
Oh no, she's muted.
It's because I didn't want anyone to hear me earlier. I'm Homero, user at Twitch that also plays Nucine, the other student of the Corvosan Academy, the Academy of Magical Arts, a transmuter, and I'd say the official representative of the Academy within the KIA.
Wow.
Burn.
Sick burn.
Come at me, bro.
And I'm Scott. I'm playing Ursian Krupt, the human fighter. Former armor. I know it's exciting. Former armager of the Hell Knight, Order of the Nail, and now just a regular guy in the city, making his way.
Making his way downtown.
Damn it, I was going to say that.
I wasn't.
You know them, you love them, the 5 agents of the Corvosan Intelligence Agency. They've made it from level 1 to level 5 as they travel through the first book of the adventure path. Will they make it through this second? They better, because we just got this sweet character art.
Yes.
But the dice fall where they may.
Oh.
And that's all I have to say. So, with that, the sun rises on the city of Corvosa. It is Moon Day, the 13th of Rova, the year 4710. And as the sun makes its way and the business day starts to run, we see Confidence Bright. Can you describe her, please, as she's walking up the steps of City Hall?
Yes, lifting her legs a little higher than probably most other people who have to come up these steps, since she is only 3 feet tall. A small halfling with very large golden buns stacked on top of her head is walking up, her long red leather coat sort of swishing against each step as she hikes up with an armful of books and a sheaf of papers. The early morning sun flashes on the holy symbol of Abadar, the key that hangs around her neck. Despite the early morning, she looks ready for business and almost a little ready for battle. The crossbow strapped across her back, making sure that nobody gets in her way. She's been coming to City Hall a lot over the last couple of weeks, getting all of the official behind-the-scenes paperwork and other boring adult things out of the way for the KIA. And in her arms, she holds the last couple of bits of paperwork that she's been meaning to get in. And also in her arms, there is a large and apparently well-thumbed-through book. And she makes her way through the halls to the offices of Magister Lolia Perrin.
We see this older woman, probably in her like early 50s. So a graying white blonde hair tied up into a bun, wearing the black and red robes marking her as a magistrate, one of the ruling bodies of the city hall here in Corvosa.
Oh, I didn't realize you'd be in this early. I just came to drop off some things.
Confidence. You've been busy.
Been trying. Now that things are starting to get back to normal, I take the job that you gave us seriously, Lolia, and I want to do everything right.
I have been admiring your reports. You are engaging with the community. It's more than most civil servants could say.
Well, we don't want a repeat of the last mistake.
No, we don't. The anarchy Corvosa faced 2 months ago cannot happen again. Even now, I feel that the city's stability is on a knife's edge.
And since we can't trust the people at the top, we need to, branch out and get in touch with everyone on the street. I also just wanted to come by and thank you for giving me this, and Confidence hands over the book. There are still a couple of maybe scraps of paper sticking out of it, places she has clearly marked, and it is a book about being a good manager.
Managing by Abadar. How to keep your employees in line with a golden fist.
I need to get back in touch with my team. I've sent out some messages, so hopefully we'll be able to get back in touch later today. I just want to make sure they, know all the proper forms, signatures, etc. And also, feels like it's been a while since I've seen them,
I understand. Trying times create lasting bonds.
Yeah. Almost feels like fate.
It's a shame that the Corvosan Guard couldn't find funds for you anymore.
Yeah, that is a disappointment, but I can't say it's really a surprise. We all know who that order came from.
No, and Queen Iliosa has been pulling funds towards herself for the last few weeks as well. We're trying to keep a tight eye on her budget, but monarchs.
I do, and I'm learning more every day. If you learn anything you think I should know, you know where to find me.
I'm sorry, I have to run. I've got a meeting with Arbiter Zenobia.
Give her my best.
I will. And she turns around and with like a swish of black and crimson skirts is off through the halls of City Hall. And as the camera flies up through the golden dome of the building, we see Corvosa proper. Far to the south, a huge wall cuts off the city from its graveyard, as well as the what is it called? South Shore, where the Nouveau Riche stay. As we start heading north, we can see the curves of this region. The Grand Mastaba, the pyramid-like structure that holds Black Castle Corvosa. And then we go further north to the Academy on the Hill. Its large, thick walls surrounding the even taller Hall of Summoning. And straight into a window in the eastern wall, we see Simran Darve in her dorm room. Can you describe her for us?
Sure. Simran is, she has long, dark hair that's completely fallen out of their braid at this point, that goes about halfway down her back, and she is 5'8", has the build of a dancer, and darker skin than most of the Corvosan residents, and it comes from her mixed Shawanti heritage. But there's also these underlying tones of blue and purple in her hair, and when she rubs her eyes awake, rubbing the sleep out of her eyes, you see that her irises are also like a lilac lavender colored, and that of course relates to her secret sylph heritage that now Ivor knows about, but no one else in her party even knows about. And you see her kind of come to, wiping some drool off the corner of her mouth, where she fell asleep reading late into the night, learning the Shawanti language, the language that of her ancestors that she's now trying to forge a connection with. And once she wakes up, she kind of just goes about her normal day. It's I believe it's the first day of the semester. Is that right?
It's the first proper week. Last week was the first day, the 6th.
Right. Last week was the first week, but things are starting to finally pick up, get into it, and so she's just getting ready for breakfast and wishing she were at the KIA with her friends instead of studying sometimes pointless subjects. But not everyone can win. And as she wakes up and goes around her day, she definitely thinks she's going to try to swing by and say hi to Confidence as soon as she can, even though she's not sure she's going to share just how exciting her last weekend was just yet. But just being around your friend might help a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the camera zooms up once more, I want to take a quick moment to say, hi, Mom. I see her name in the chat.
Hi, Chris's mom!
Hi, Chris's mom!
Thanks for joining us.
So the camera continues to zoom north over the Hall of Academy, past this tall, one might even say the Great Tower, hippogriffs flying around it. And into Old Corvosa, the island that rests just north of this little land that sticks out into a body of water. There's a geography term for that.
Peninsula?
There you go, peninsula. And the camera zooms onto the northern side of Old Corvosa, to Old Dock. We can see the docks and the boats that have are jettied here are much grimier and not very well maintained. And we see a young man stepping out of a rickety building. Ursion, who do we see?
We see Ursion, which is who you're asking. He is a tall, wide-shouldered young man in his early 20s, dark hair, kind of dark eyes, kind of Chilaxian by appearance, with just a hint of maybe some Shawanti from his past. He is wearing a light chain shirt and is wielding a very large sword, sheathed, of course, but it is in stark contrast to his relatively non-militaristic attire. He is making his way over to the Reef Claw Run Market to grab some breakfast. He has a remarkable bad black eye, and his lip is split in multiple places from injuries that may have occurred for fights that may have happened a week, 2 days ago, and maybe last night, based on the various healing that's going on. That being said, he is walking with a pretty wide smile and is with his sister Corva, who is walking with him.
Sorry,
so he looks. I'm sorry. I know I threw. I thought of it while you're doing introductions. I apologize.
I love it.
And he's kind of looks over and says "Today is the day. Today is the day I go back. I'm going back."
I'm glad. She really. I feel like without her, you wouldn't be where you are today, Ursion.
I know. And he goes, and as he's talking, he is purchasing a pile of what appears to be oysters and mussels and maybe some cockles, and he starts pulls out a knife and starts opening them up as he's talking and speaking, punctuating that with the back end of a hatchet that he pulls out of his belt that starts cracking these. He goes, I know, it's been too long, and then I waited too long, and then now it's I feel like it's and I don't know what to talk about, and I have to explain it, and then I don't want to explain it. And as he's doing this, he's dumping this seafood into like a pitcher, and then he pulls out of his pocket 2 eggs and cracks them, and he just like puts them in as he's talking.
Ew.
And starts
What?
stirring it up with his dagger. Like, it's just all these late nights. I just need to. And with that, he pours the remnants of his coffee into it as well, and then picks it up and slurps it down in like 3 gulps, puts it down, wipes his mouth, and says, "But today is the day. I guarantee it. I'm gonna make it all. I'm gonna explain everything. It'll all make sense." He says as he sheathes his hatchet back into the loop in the back of his belt, and kind of throws his tabard in front of it. "You'll see." And so that's the extent of his conversation.
As the camera like pulls back up, she's like, "What the hell are you eating?" And then the twins begin to laugh with one another, something that still probably feels uncomfortable for each of them. Wow, that was okay, cool. I'm very glad to see that relationship has had an upswing. So the camera continues to zoom up, zoom up, zoom up, and it goes back south towards the large wall that I described earlier, over the neighborhood of Cliffside in the southwestern portion of Corvosa. It's right along the cliff that overlooks Conqueror's Bay to the west. And behind her, in the background, we can see, behind this person walking, we can see a huge foot, like a large marble statue foot. And as they're walking up, new scene, who do we see?
So you kind of follow that person inside of a building, and as you know, they kind of turn, and almost like the camera keeps continuing forward. And in this building, you see like a front desk with numerous people, and then behind them, you see just like 5 or 6 rows of just people writing down with stacks of papers on each side. And as you kind of go through, on the rightmost row towards the end, you see one desk that kind of has, compared to the others, where a lot of their stacks of papers are kind of like maybe just within a few inches of each other, this one has one stack that is considerably higher than the other. And you see Nucine sitting there, just kind of finishing up some last notes, where essentially describing, copying, transcribing things, making notes, just doing things. And as they finish up, they kind of rush out really quickly, as if they're on their way late to something. So follow them through the streets. They get to the academy. They go back to their room, and you see Nucine for the next few hours, essentially grabbing this long, perfectly carved stick, and using bits of powdered iron and alchemical materials, and pushing them into specific runes, and using just kind of general arcane symbols and magic, and fusing them into this stick over the course of a few hours. It's almost as if you're recapping everything that's happened, and you see multiple days spent working on this. And after a moment, you see that they kind of become startled and look outside and notice how much time has passed, and begin to book it across the academy to the headmaster's office.
So as this person in school robes walks up to the headmaster's office, can you tell us what they look like?
Absolutely. You see wavy hair pushed back, not really held by anything, seemingly unnaturally held back almost. Pale skin, with very formal clothing, ruffles coming out, and long coats with lots of pockets on the inside, but on the outside it's less functional. As much as I would love to have a cargo jacket, that's not what it is. And kind of books hinting on the side, sheets on the insides of and outsides of the coats, and long kind of like riding boots.
All right, so they walk up, and Madame Hopla Brassring, the gnomish secretary to Headmaster Toff Ornelos, is there. She looks up and she's like, "Oh yeah, Nucine, it's fine." And
Wordlessly
the door
enters.
just, yeah, just without even knocking, just enters. the headmaster, Headmaster Ornelas, wearing black and red, as is befitting a headmaster of the Academy of Corvosa, with like a little black chapeau and like crimson silver lining, long great white beard, and tanned wrinkly skin. And he's sitting there with like some lunch set up, cucumber sandwiches of the sorts. And like the two of you nod, and then the door shuts behind you. And the camera like zooms back out through the halls of the academy, and up into the sky. It doesn't have far to go from here, except for up, up, and dives through a window into the great tower, just to the northwest of the school. And we see a young man. Who do we see, Ivor?
So we see Ivor, who is 17 and tall and lanky and hasn't quite grown into his body yet. And he has brown 90s hair that is always blowing in a wind that exists only for him because he makes it himself. But right now, he is crouched on the floor in a room that is full of small children who are all kind of lying down on little mats with little blankets over them, getting ready for nap time. And Ivor is in the middle of telling them a nap time story. And he says, and then our hero swung his magical greatsword right across the neck of the biggest zombie, and the last one left, and it took the head clean off, and the head rolled over the ground, and he looked down at this magic sword, which was the source of all of his strength and power. And he looked out at all of the fallen zombie bodies on the field around him, and then he saw in front of him a figure that wasn't there before, and it was the figure of his father, his estranged father, this powerful wizard. And his father says, "Percy, I'm so glad to see you. You've done so well. I'm so glad to see you and your brother working together." And all the little kids gasp, "What?" And Percy says, "What? I don't have a brother. What are you talking about?" And his father looks at the sword, and it begins to glow. And Percy looks at the sword, and it's glowing brighter than ever. He says, What is this?" And his father says, "Didn't you know that sword, it's your brother. It's all of his power put into this object and given to you. How could you not tell?" And Percy says, "What, Father, what did you do?" And he says, "I did it for your own good. I took him and his power, and I put it into that sword for you so that you could be strong." And all the kids are like, "What? No, that can't be true." And Ivor says, and he says, "It is true." And he says, now you're ready." And Percy looks in his father's eyes to try to understand something, his motivations, or what he wants, or what he expects Percy to do. But they're too guarded, they're too shielded, and he just doesn't know what it means. And that's where we'll have to end, and we'll have to pick up next week. So, and all the kids are like, no, keep going. I have to know what happens. I have to know. It's like Ivor says, sorry, that's you. You're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to do your nap because this afternoon we got stuff going on. If you don't nap now, and they're like, oh, fine. And Ivor kind of tucks them in, and he turns the little. I guess he blows out the little candle or the little lamp, turns it off. And he steps out and he shuts the door to the room and walks away.
Well, so shortly after that, Pim steps out behind you after finishing putting like the last of the kids to bed. Pim is how old is he?
10.
10. He's a 10-year-old boy. And he looks remarkably like his father, Commander Marcus Endrin. So short brown hair, a sort of very much like a handsome kind of. You can tell he's going to be quite a dashing young man in a matter of years. Ivor, hey, hold on a second. He like follows you.
What's the matter, Pim?
As you start walking down the stairs, Ivor's like, "Are you okay?"
Me, I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be okay?
Normally, your stories actually put the kids to sleep, but lately they've just been riling everyone up.
Well, I gotta look. It's a harsh world out there right now in the city of Corvosa.
It's pretty bad.
I'm trying to prepare them for what life's going to be like when they have to go out there on their own, and also entertain them a little bit. Everybody deserves to be entertained every once in a while, don't you think, Pim?
It's just that last night I heard you screaming in your sleep.
It's just probably having a dream that I don't remember. That happens to people sometimes, and I'm look at me. I'm fine. See, I got all my fingers, I got all my toes. I think I'm not going to show you, but they're there. So you do not have to worry, Pim. This is not something that you should be worried about.
You're not telling me something.
Pim,
But oh well.
I am 17 and you are 10. There are a great many things that I do not tell you.
Well, fine. I won't tell you things. And he
Fine.
stops following you and like turns around and goes back up the stairs the other way.
Whew.
And the camera straight through the wall of the tower and back up once more. As we come to the afternoon of this moon day, and actually, I feel like I use this track too much, but I like it so much. It's just a fun festival. We come back down to the southern part of Corvosa, to the gold market in the neighborhood of Highbridge. Rather, in between the neighborhoods of Highbridge and Pillar Hill. We see several families, quite a few children out and about. It is the celebration of Market's Door, and there are several priests of Abadar out and about, blessing the wares and the harvest that has the last of not the last of the harvest. It's only September, but it is the time. The seasons have officially changed. And autumn has begun. We see Confidence. Her arm in arm with another young woman, her older sister, Amy. Are all your siblings blonde?
No. Just Confidence and Candor, actually.
Candor, who is not here.
Correct.
Candor is not here. Okay, remind me. You've got several siblings.
So many.
Amy is your older sister who's
Yes.
walking next hand in hand with you. Then Felicity No.
Mhm.
Felicity's after Amy. Okay. Well, you're after Amy. Then
Yes.
it's Felicity.
Then it's Percy.
Ah. Percy,
Funnily
then
enough,
Felicity.
there is a Percy. His Confidence's younger brother.
Felicity.
I forgot that there was a character named.
It's not an
Percy.
uncommon name.
And your parents' names?
Oh gosh, if only I remembered. Prudence is my mother's name, and Tamsin is my father's name.
Okay, so the Bright family is out and about celebrating Market's Day. We see Prudence and Tamsin Bright in front of some stalls, like, ooh, she's bartering, and Tamsin's probably like holding a whole bunch of bags. They're looking over some crabs, actually, because the crab fest was just last week, so there's a good deal on some of them. And as like from behind these grocery bags, he's like, no, get the blue shelled ones. You can't even see what she's looking at. Amy is walking arm in arm with you, Confidence. Well, the work at the bar has steadily picked up over the last few weeks.
I mean, I would hope so. People have a reason to be celebrating, right?
Yeah, of course. Here, can I buy you a snack? Please, you've done so much for us, Connie.
I'm okay. I have dinner plans. I made dinner plans. I kind of give Amy this look like I can't have another dinner with mom and dad.
She
have you heard
squeezes
any-
your arm. Please stay. Invite your friends, because she knows.
It's business. I wouldn't want to bore everybody.
I wish
But
I
it's-
had business.
Well, you should work on that. You have a lot of talents. And I know you like working at the bar, but if there's something else you want to do and you want my help, I know people now.
I mean, I don't know. And you can see, like, as you were talking, her eyes were just watching the backside of a young man who was walking past.
I just look at her and just raise my eyebrows.
Or I guess you're halfling, so is more her eyes up looking at. If you look over to your left, you can see Felicity and Percy both in front of like a book stall going through things. And a moment later, as the crowds just part, you see a figure standing in front of a flower stall. And it looks like a slender elven woman with long black hair and pointed ears. You instantly recognize her.
I'm gonna kind of look at Amy and try really hard not to look at this figure and be like, "Hey, I'll catch up with you later. I just remembered something I gotta go look for."
Sure. Okay. And she just like wanders off. Goes to help mom and dad with the shopping.
Yeah. I'm gonna approach.
This person's wearing dark leathers, like a black brownish, very very kind of drab. They're riding leathers. They've seen some weather. You approach, and they're busy, kind of like looks like they're smelling the flowers.
You normally have other people to buy those for you, huh?
She turns around. And as she turns, you realize this woman is not a full elf. Her face and eyes, in particular, give her away, for her eyes have irises. They are not one pure color as the elves of this realm have. We actually haven't met a full elf yet, have we? This is okay. We've met a half elf or two NPCs. So yes, this is a half elf woman, and she turns. Well, I wanted to pick these out myself.
But you could let me buy them for you, for old time's sake?
Why don't you pick them out, and I'll buy them for you?
I have atrocious taste, you know that.
Well, that's what I was hoping to correct for. And she kind of kneels down and like rubs her nose on yours.
How's Nidal?
You heard.
I may have run into an old friend.
Rhyme found you. I'm glad she was keeping an eye on things.
Well, she should have been keeping an eye on you.
No, I was fine. From what I've heard, Corvosa wasn't.
Yeah, things have been a little crazy. Are you in town for long?
A few days. I've got to head off to Riddleport.
Family keeping you busy?
You could say that. Listen, can we talk? She grabs you by like the wrist, starts pulling you towards a small little alleyway.
You know, my place is actually not that far from here.
Oh, really? Perfect. So, you start walking away. I'm gonna turn off the fireworks, I think.
Turn
No,
off
the fireworks.
Yeah, turn them off.
only
No,
just
Chris.
Excuse me, what?
You start walking east. The intelligence agency is but a few blocks from here, literally. There's like she's Leanthus, who this is. We have not said a name for her just yet.
I'm taking her, for the record, not to the office, but to my apartment, so those are now separate places.
Right.
Woo!
Right. Okay, so as you take her up to, I'm assuming there's like an outside entrance to the
Yeah.
apartment as well. And the two of you quickly go up. She's looking around. Well, this is nice.
Don't sound so surprised.
I mean, we're not young anymore. Not really.
Oh,
We can't live in a mess.
we're the South Shore, not anymore. But
Listen, I'm worried. It seems like you are painting a target on yourself in some circles.
no, what have you heard? And I open the door and let her in.
Your name is definitely being passed around in the Cerulean Society. Nothing bad, just news.
Well, good. I want people to know what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
Honestly, I'm still figuring that out. But it's been a long time since we saw each other, and I think Confidence's hand kind of unconsciously goes to the holy symbol on her neck. I had a calling.
Is she like? I'm assuming there's like a couch or
Mhm,
something. Maybe the bed. She moves over to it and just like, you know about Nidal. How it's run by Cuthites.
I heard.
And she looks at the key on your neck. Remember one of our first dates? We talked about Abadarian mythology. I never knew someone could make religion seem sexy. The old tale about how Abadar locked Zon Kathan away. You remember?
Of course. First of all, told many secrets.
It does. And when Everlasting Night came, he had to release him and gave him the first shadow. Abadar's not without his mistakes. But no deity is, I guess.
You're right. And that's why I'm here, to fix some mistakes. There are some problems going on. No offense, but I don't need any rumors getting to the wrong ears.
You don't trust me? She starts smiling.
Should I?
Yes. But I understand why you wouldn't. It's not like I've been faithful.
It's been a long time since we had anything to be faithful to between us. Anyway, but it's good to see you. And it's not that I don't trust you, it's that it's not just me anymore. You know, I have people to look out for.
Should I be jealous?
I don't think so.
Good. And she leans forward firmly and plants a kiss on your lips. And maybe the camera zooms out once more.
But why?
Yeah,
Show
can
the
we stay in the
fireworks.
scene and describe it in vivid detail?
For Ivor.
For Ivor.
What's our stream rated again?
We are
Yeah.
mature, so
I
There you
does
go.
not want to think about confidence that way. Not
Oh, so it was
at
for
all.
Sylviana specifically.
We'll chat later.
So as the four of you are headed to the Corvosan Intelligence Agency, the sun is on its way down. And you see Confidence talking to what looks at first to be an elf, but you quickly realize is a half-elf woman at the door. And she whispers some information to you, Confidence. And then, like the rest of you can clearly hear her saying, I'll come by tomorrow for lunch.
Yeah, I'd like that.
And then you definitely all see her bend down, kiss Confidence on the cheeks, and walk away in the opposite direction.
Who's we all?
That's a great
just
question.
a little afternoon delight.
The four of you, are you all walking up at the exact same time?
I hope so,
Yes.
because yes.
That just makes it all better if Confidence
Sure.
turns and just like,
Oh, hi.
I think just gonna try really hard not to have any reaction. I can make a bluff check if you want.
Did we see the cheek kiss?
yes.
Ooh.
You're all early.
Not
Who is
early
that?
enough. Sorry.
An old friend. And
Good looking, old friend.
yes, well, Leanthus has always had her share of admirers. But hi, it's good to see
Hi.
all of you.
Hi, Confidence. And Ivor just goes over and gives her a big, big hug and kind of like squeezes her.
Hey. Hey, Ivor. Everything copacetic in Kidland?
Yep. Everything is great. And also, it's really nice to see you.
Well, I know most of you have seen the new office. I think Confidence says this with a pointed but not hopefully unkind look at Ursion.
Ursin hasn't said a word yet. He's kind of looking around, not making eye contact, strangely. Awkwardly, if you can imagine. I'm sure you all can.
You should come in. I have some dinner and I have some things that we need to discuss. I'm glad you could all come.
The door opens, and a middle-aged, chellish woman, very pale skin with dark hair, steps out. It's Tiora, and she's like, "Oh well, you're all here on time then, Miss Bright. I've finished up the dinner and set the table for you. So you've got everything you need for the night, and I'll be off home."
Thanks, Tiora. You got some too, right?
Oh, I made sure to eat. Thank
Good.
you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
She nods. Well, good to see you all again.
Likewise.
Yeah, but you're.
She looks a lot better than when you first saw her 2 months ago, imprisoned by Roth Lamb inside the Dead Warrens.
Yep.
Yeah, the office has no longer also Confidence's very messy apartment. Tiora, I think, has done a much better job of keeping things neat and organized. And there are case files, there's papers and posters pinned to the wall, a large map of Corvosa. There are books and scrolls and things, and a couple of tables and in back behind the screen where Confidence's bed used to be a pile of bedrolls for any late nights at the office.
Slumber party.
So, been busy, it looks like. So, all of you, right? I'm. What
Yep.
what have you been up
Normal
to?
stuff. Just normal stuff at the Great Tower. Kids changing diapers.
Can I sense motive Ursian? Or can I tell he's being weird?
I can tell you he's being weird.
Yes. Yes.
So Simran is just going to straight up look at Ursian and be like, "Why are you being weird?"
I wasn't. It's a little strange to be back. It's been a while, and I wasn't even sure. I thought maybe you guys had gone along without me. So, and then I got the
Why?
summons because I don't know. It was odd the way we left it last. He says, not looking at Confidence.
She's gonna step up in front of him and look right at him and say, "It seemed like you wanted some space to figure things out. I respect that."
Right, and I thought, and I needed some space, and I've been up to some, doing my own stuff with that space, and now I'm just ready to, what do we got? I don't know what's going on. What how can I help?
Well, I mostly just wanted to see all of you, but there's a few. They're mostly formalities, but I know that we came together under strange circumstances, under the strangest circumstances.
Yeah.
Confidence actually kind of puts the Harrow deck kind of out on the table and kind of gives it a sidelong glance. But we have the chance to do something really good for Corvosa. Even when we're not tracking down missing bodies or having tete-a-tetes with crime lords, there's everyday work that we can do. And I think we make a good team. I guess I just wanted to check in and make sure this was still a job all of you wanted to do. I know many of you have other obligations, and I don't expect you to be here every day. Tiora and I have a good handle on most things, but you don't have to do this.
Confidence. I'm the Sable Company's official representative to the KIA. If I didn't do this, not only would I be letting you down, but I'd be letting down the Sable Company and the whole city.
I'm glad you feel that way, Ivor, but I just wanted everyone to know that this is a choice. A free choice, and I don't want to make any of you do anything you don't want to do.
Well, if I weren't here, I'd be working at my grandfather's shop or studying, so this is way more exciting. At least I'm doing some good here.
Right, the Academy offers so little in terms of practical application that this has been most satisfying.
Do you want us around? Seems like you've got things under control, and you've got your friend was Lythanis. Is that the person? I mean, new recruit maybe. I don't know. It seems like you've got new, opportunities. So, maybe you don't need. Maybe you want people who are smart and have certain nuanced subtle way of doing things, and maybe you don't need a big idiot who can break things well around so much anymore in the, with the way things are now and so on. So, I mean, perhaps I'm wondering do you still think I'm a good fit? I mean, with the KIA.
I invited you here, didn't I?
Yeah, yes, you did. So, yes,
I have faith
you
in
do.
you, Ursian. I have faith in you. I have faith in all of you. And if this is something you want to be a part of, well, I have the official documents. They're on the table, buy into the resurrection plans, salaries, tax information, so all of that.
Resurrection plans.
It's very standard. I wouldn't worry about it.
Taxes.
And if you double check the fine print, it only covers raised dead, I
Yeah.
will say. Yes, resurrection's
Not
not
even
in
reincarnation?
the... No.
There isn't even a
No.
chance I can come back as a dwarf?
You can treaty with the druids at the docks, but otherwise.
Out of the budget.
So what kind of work do we have left to do? I mean, I feel like for a while we were carrying the water for some of the super powerful and completely powerless institutions in the city to help them do things that needed doing. So what are there any lost dogs or cats stuck in trees? Like, what kind of work is the KIA allowed to do now?
You all feel a shock of cold as a spirit emanates up from the harrow deck laid out on the table. In this whirl of gray smoke, and then in a blast of color, the spirit of Zalara appears once more. The tan-skinned Varisian woman, with her graying black hair tied behind her and a colorful scarf over her head. I'm glad you've asked. The city of Corvosa calls on you all once again. And just through the table, what was this meal that perhaps you've been sharing, kind of disappears as a red cloth is laid out.
Who was eating that?
I hate to interrupt your meal for eating, but the cards call.
Okay.
May I?
It's nice to
please.
see you too, Zalara.
I was waiting, she looks at Ursion, till we were all back together again.
Well,
We're now.
last time you were the one who brought me vengeance, so I can only trust in your guidance in these things. Zalara.
Vengeance,
Justice.
justice. Is this the right... I don't think this is the right song.
No.
I need something...
This is a love scene.
Yeah, this is not.
Yeah, we needed
not.
this a little earlier.
I know.
Yes.
No, you guys don't understand my relationship with
I
Zalara.
know. I should have done that on.
I never let you know about my real
Yeah.
crush. I'm shipping for those two.
No.
What about...
Sounds like confidence.
No. I'll go with this one. Yeah. This should do fine. We begin the reading with the choosing. A simple pulling of the cards. Can you all see the hero deck in the bottom right side of the Roll20?
I can.
Yes.
And if you
Sure
can,
Oui.
if you can, Homero, take us over to the Roll20 to show the hero cards.
Chris, that was so 4 seconds ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. So if you can all see the deck in the bottom right, she'll look to you, Confidence, who is seated to her left. She's at the head of the table. And on the left side of the table, we have Confidence, Ivor. On the other end of the table, we have Simran. And on the right side of the table, we have Nusine and Ursion. So just as we are in this order, left to right from me as
Mhm.
Solara.
All right. Do I just click draw here?
Yeah, you should be able to click and pull it to you.
Okay.
And you'll be in the left side of the table. That
Oh
left
my
corner.
god. Maybe not. My
Is it not working?
I have a really shitty mouse.
Okay, I can just do it for everyone.
No, I got it. Ha ha ha. I did it. Oh goody.
The sickness.
Oh no.
She looks at it.
Oh no, I
Your
don't like
touch
it.
will come as calm and strength and grace to those who need it, as it always has confidence. She looks at Ivor and offers you the deck.
Oh, me. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
I can. The Teamster. So on the first one, I should totally describe what they are, just because I was like thinking about the audio. So the first one is this woman, the sickness. She looks pale and mottled, with rotting skin, and the one after her, the one that Ivor pulled, is the Teamster. This gnomish man in a robe and wizard's hat is beating an ogre, or that it's riding atop of. Ivor, your empathy, your altruism, it shines forth in these trying times.
Thanks.
Who's next?
Is it
Simran.
me? All right.
She
So I'm
offers
just-
you the deck.
All right. I will draw one card. Did that work?
I don't see it.
You
Oh.
like mouse over the top and pull up.
Oh, okay.
The Brass Dwarf. We see literally a dwarf made of brass with fiery hair and beard blowing smoke rings. She looks at you. I don't think you've ever danced a dance like the one that will be coming your way, Simran.
Okay.
These dancers don't wish joy. They wish grief. Be wary.
Okay.
Then she turns to new scene and offers them the deck.
All right. Please not betrayer. Please not betrayer. Please not betrayer. Don't need that twice in my life.
The desert. In this image, we see a lion wearing a cap, holding what looks like a pawn in its paw in the desert. Just a sec.
I got the desert because it's full of life and energy, right?
Oh. The desert you're going to is not one without water, one that is only but water. Be careful, Nusine. Nothing but regret awaits you underneath the river. And then the last card goes to Ursion.
Are we doing these draws or are you?
You are.
Okay, I don't know how to do it. Thought I did.
I guess I should have just done
If
them.
you mouse over the deck, one of the cards will pop up, and then
Ah.
you can click on it and drag it up.
Ah ha ha ha. The Tangled Briar.
The Tangled Briar. We've seen this card before, I think. Ursion, your journey has taken you to the streets and below them before. But perhaps this time you can stay your blade against all hopes of violence in the sewers. This is but the choosing. Keep these cards close to you and remember them well.
So, Lara, these cards all look similar.
They each bear the symbol of the shield. Fortitude and toughness is what is required in the times ahead, my. Steel yourselves. There are dire times. I am feeling a call, and the only way I know how to express it is, as always, through the cards. If you don't mind, I would love to do a greater reading. See what is to come, and what has caused the events that are affecting us today. Will you allow me this?
We always value your counsels, Lara.
Of course.
Okay, I'm going to delete these and pull out my Harrow deck, my proper Harrow deck. Not the one you've been pulling from.
Which is only shield cards.
Yes.
It's rigged. The whole game is rigged.
Don't. It's rigged.
All right.
Sylviana peeling back the curtain.
Sorry, I don't know if people are looking that closely. The symbols are kind of small. I wanted to make sure the audience.
Maybe it happened randomly, Sylviana.
Sylviana!
Those chances would be unbelievable.
I'll begin the
It's fate.
choosing. And she shuffles and shuffles and shuffles. She lays down 3 cards in the column to the left. Yeesh. More shields. And the trumpet. She looks at you, Ivor. Make them just a little bit bigger. The survivor. A figure on a throne in a field of ghosts. Underneath that, the idiot. A lumbering figure strapped into a mask held up by goblins. And below that, a flying angel, armored, holding a spear and blowing into a trumpet. In the past, Ivor, you've lost so much. But you will only lose more, I'm afraid to say. Yours is the only card that truly fits in this left slot. And I know that it is your past that will affect the things to come. And that your past is playing a direct hand here. I hope,
Okay.
I pray, that you will not be left alone when all this is done.
Thanks.
Also, I want to give you all time, like moments to step up speak up during this reading, because so we can make it more dynamic than the first one. Didn't really actually talk about it, but anyway, here we go.
He won't
But
be alone.
He won't. It is only through forced ignorance that you've been kept isolated. A mask has been forced around your head, leaving you unawares.
Ivor tries to put on a face that's confused, like he has no idea what Zalara is talking about, but he looks at Simran and there is a recognition that he can't hide.
Right.
Yeah, and Simran is watching him like a hawk right now.
She begins to pull the second column of cards. The Rakshas. Oh boy.
Of course. Oh no!
The
No.
winged serpent.
Oh,
Look
no.
at that confidence probably like stands up from the table a little bit. Like,
And the demon's lantern.
God,
Oh,
why?
wow.
that
Well.
seems bad.
Cards don't always mean what they say. This is a mixed message. Things that are happening right now are obscured. And not just that, they've been purposely camouflaged, polymorphed, altered. The appearance that will be given is not the actuality. Illusions abound. Distractions. It'll be hard to know which is the right path, which is the right vision, which is the right choice. But the serpent shows us that instinct and intuition shall lead the way. Keep your wits about you. Stay wise. Anything? She's going to move to the next.
I think confidence is probably looking over at the big like stack of papers, and on top of them there's a drawing of that knife. And she's just looking back and forth between that and the set of
winged
cards,
serpent, yeah.
and over at New Scene with this look in her eyes, like, you took care of that, right?
Innocent just kind of silently, just like, not really saying anything, just thinking about, like, yes, I took care of it, but I don't know what was done with it. And then just, again, just kind of silently, just thinking like, I kind of didn't follow up on that.
Zolara's like following your eyes across the table, and she looks at New Scene. I don't know. I can't say. Things are kept clouded from me at this time. But the pulse of Corvosa continues to beat, and I can sense irregularities, anomalies, you might say. And she goes to pull the last row of cards. The Cyclone. The large, looks like an elemental, as you can see a face in it, gleefully destroying the countryside. The Hidden Truth. A man in robes and a hat, looking surprised at something he's reading. And the last card. Ooh. The Snake Bite. A disaster is coming for Corvosa. But I fear it's already here. Something that has been here all along, or is being used. Something that has been here all along is being used to create great disaster. A venomous kiss that will leave hundreds, if not thousands, dead. Ooh.
Like a literal kiss or like a metaphorical? Because confidence, are you feeling okay?
I had a dream. But I don't know. I think she's kind of like standing up, sort of looking over it. It's in balance for the most part. Look, law and chaos in balance.
How many of the cards in this deck are downers? Because we kind of pulled a lot.
Unfortunately, there's no need to prophesize good events. Those are best left as surprises.
That's fair. That's fair.
But what do we do, right? You've laid up the cards.
Zalara starts like looking around, like, and she looks at you, Ursian. You'll have a path soon. And at that moment, there's a banging at the door, and Zalara and the cards disappear.
Yeah, Simran jumps to her feet.
Yeah, I think
And at her
confidence
side.
probably has, the crossbow is like, whoop.
And with that, let's take a quick 5-minute break.
Ah!
Okay, dear viewers, everyone who's joining us for the first time from Gen Con, welcome!
Gen Con!
Super stoked to have you all here. Thank you for joining the Season 2 premiere of A Cage Sustained. We will be back in a short 5 minutes. Thank you, Polish Ogre. And please, don't go anywhere.
I'm sure it's not.
Welcome back. I'm Chris Bernal, aka Krifu, and this is A Cage Sustained. There was a loud banging at the door, and Zulara's spirit disappeared. I think Confidence pulled out her crossbow. Is that what
Yes.
happened last?
And
Yes.
Simran had her hand on her sword.
Missing gets a
Right,
wand.
right. Everyone grabs a weapon.
I think Ursian looks at you guys like, isn't this where people come to do business here? It's not great customer service. But he goes to the door. I think everyone's a little spooked. He goes to the door and opens it a crack and just takes a look. Who's knocking?
You see a man beyond. Not instantly familiar to you. It's been a while. And the one time you saw him before, he was in pretty bad shape. But Confidence, you've seen him around in your time in the area, especially with Citadel Volshniak right around here. His name is Grau Soldado. He is a Korvosan guard that we met at the Three Rings Tavern, and he was quite wasted 2 months ago. He's in much better shape today, wearing a clean uniform, and you see, Ursion, you see him through the crack, this man. Tanned skin, he's Varisian, so dark mottled brown hair as well. And he's like, sorry, I'm looking for the agency.
I push the door open further and I say, Sergeant, you're in the right place.
You know me. Oh.
We,
And as he steps...
I didn't recognize you. Let's leave it at that. Come on in.
He steps in and he looks at all of you and he's like, have we... and he sees you, Confidence, and nods his head. Commissioner, I'm sorry to interrupt dinner, but I need help.
Come in. Then I kind of just motion at Ursian to shut the door and say,
bolted.
Join us.
Bolted, not ominously, clunk, lock. No, you can't leave.
He, okay. And he sits down. You can tell he's tapping his foot a little bit, but he's trying to be as polite as possible, and he nods and sits. I'm sorry, it's just my niece is sick. I don't know what she has, and neither does anyone in Trails End. She's broken out all over in red pox, and she can barely keep down food or anything. Her mother's talking about going to the Bank of Abadar, but we can't afford the prices that the clerics there would charge. And while I remembered you, well, I was told about you. I'm sorry, it was a bad night. But I figured that maybe the agency could help. You a bunch of resourceful people, or maybe I could get a loan.
Why don't you tell me a little bit more about what's going on? We're not exactly doctors or healers.
I mean, I'm just sorry. I was hoping that you could find a way to, or at least help me find a way. I need an extra 50 GP to 50 crowns. I know, I was thinking in out of character. I need an extra 50 crowns to cover the cost for the spell that the priest is charging. That the church would charge. But maybe if you've got like some sort of herbs or something, if you could at least take a look at her, see what she's got. Nobody can even diagnose it.
Do you have a
I'm
sample?
happy to.
I'm sorry?
Do you have a sample of the skin?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Is it just your daughter who has taken ill?
My niece.
Your niece? Is it just your niece who's
my
taken ill?
sister's daughter. That I know of.
Okay.
And in Trail's End, we came a long way.
Right. Well, there's a priest there now for Mabadar.
From the bank?
Some brother Daughtry or something.
Yes, I know him. He does good work. You know, he's who I go to.
Really? He doesn't... Not that we can afford it, but he's not prepared for it.
I tell you what. You know, we're not a charity. But we're always in need of information, ears, boots on the ground.
I
We
can
have a
do
good
that.
relationship with the Corvosan Guard.
Right. Everyone talks about the agency and how they helped during the anarchy.
We can take a look. How is she? Is she been getting worse quickly?
It's been a few days. 2 or 3. I don't know. I don't know how much longer she has. If it could go downhill any minute now. If an herbalist or a healer could like at least tell us what she has, but they haven't figured out anything.
The gold market should still be open. I'm going to start writing a list of things. I'm going to put 10 crowns with it and say, here are some things I might need. If you can go and get these, we'll make a plan. Come
Okay.
back when you have this.
I can do that. He starts counting and he's like, okay. And he heads off. Thank you. I'll be back as soon as possible. And he runs out the door.
I'm just going to kind of grab my holy symbol and look around at everyone and go, that's not a coincidence.
Yeah, I
What
look over at
was
the
the-
Harrower desk, the deck, and think the same thing.
Disaster coming? Hundreds of thousands will die?
A venomous kiss?
We should go see this child. We should go see her tonight.
Is there anything we can do to protect ourselves from it?
I'm gonna walk over to like a pile of papers and just kind of grab them. There's clearly some stuff that Confidence has been like drawing, and just kind of, I've been having this dream, and just kind of pull out this piece of paper with a sketch on it, and it's a ominous figure. I'm like, I don't know. I think this is bad.
What does the figure look like, Confidence?
There's not a lot of detail to it. It's largely humanoid, but almost like bird-headed, or perhaps wearing some sort of mask.
Could be just a dream, but I don't think that's how you operate anymore.
Not anymore.
But we don't know anything yet. If we can help this child, good, and if that leads to clues to what we can do to, get at this problem even better. Like you said, it's not a coincidence. So let's
Yeah.
Let's lean into it. Let's embrace it this time. We're here to do it. We're here to do something.
We're here
And
to help.
just because Grawl didn't know anything else doesn't mean anybody in the city hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
What about,
I mean,
what about?
sorry.
I'm sorry. It's been a while. I've been talking. I've been used to talking to people and having them do what I say recently. Yeah. Sorry. What I'm saying is, you have that ability where you can like hear like many things at once. Maybe is that where you were thinking already? And I'm already. Yep. Right.
Like
And
I
you're good
said,
at this.
good team.
Okay. So let's do that.
Yeah, that's kind of why I got him out of here. It tends to freak people out, I know. I'm gonna sit down and grab the piece of brick. Just sort of sit down. Like I think the dinner and the papers and the Harrow deck are all kind of spilled across the table. I'm gonna sit down and kind of grab that chunk of brick and my holy symbol in the other hand and say, all right, somebody knows something. And cast Ears of the City.
As you back into that familiar kind of astral space, I always imagine it slightly blue. I don't know if that's just me. You feel something like rush up from behind and pick you up by the back of your neck, by the back of your collar, and you feel it. A giant metal golden fist shining in golden light. It's the light of the first vault, and Abadar has grabbed you. He starts moving you throughout the city of Korvosa. Hold on. Just so I know what I'm looking at. He takes you off to the western side of Korvosa, underneath right by the academy. And in a flash, we see this woman climbing up a ladder. Chelish woman with a bob of short black hair. She's nailing a sign onto a storefront, a store called Lavender's, and this sign reads, "Lavender's Luxurious Liniment." And then flash, you're pulled away, back down to the southeastern edge of Korvosa, in front of Citadel Volshniak. In the light of the setting sun, we can see a young Varisian woman, a shawl around her shoulders, crying out to passing guards and people, "Help me, my brother, help me." And then flash back once more to the outside of the Korvosan Intelligence Agency. It's midday, and an elderly woman is hobbling down the street, making her way directly towards the doors of the Korvosan Intelligence Agency. Flash again. It's night, and up through from the east, from the west, coming up the Jagari River, we see a ship with 3 lights at the bow, marking it. Flash, we're pulled away again to the northwestern edge, Old Korvosa, and in the dim, shadowy light of dusk, we see the window, a dusty window of a toy store. The toys on the shelves tinkling ever so slightly in the light. And then, bam, you're back. This whole time, confidence, immediately shouted out for paper and has just been sketching these images out.
I think as soon as she kind of comes to the hand, like spasming from having drawn really, really fast, kind of eyes still unfocused, grabs a bunch of things that are lying around and just goes over to the wall and starts tacking them up over the map. Did I get it?
Ribbon and all. Homero, can you switch us?
Mm-hmm. Oh, technically we have 2. There we go.
Do I need to change something?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
I do.
We see this board, a map of Korvosa, one that Confidence has been working on for some time, notes To the left, image of a wanted poster for Rolf Lamb, the same one that she and Tiora helped create based on her memory of him. To the right, a framed picture of Queen Iliosa. I don't know where she got that, actually, to be perfectly honest.
I have my sources.
But these 5 sketches, Confidence has pinned them to the map of Corvosa and tied a red string between all of them.
That's not normally how that works. I had a little bit of intervention. I saw locations, people, things happening. It's not normally so clear, so vivid, and I relate the 5 things that I saw in as much detail as I can remember, kind of pointing to each of them. I could feel where they were. I don't know what it means, but that... Chris, do any of us know what 3 lanterns, or do I know from being a sailor what 3 lanterns on a ship mean?
Absolutely, you do.
It's a plague ship.
What do you mean?
I saw a ship with 3 lanterns. They only do that when someone on the ship is carrying plague. It warns everyone to stay away, but it was sailing up the river.
And this little girl is not far from the river.
No. I don't know when these things happened. I don't know if they're in the past or the future or now. Maybe someone in Trail's End will know more about this ship. I don't know.
Do you know what intervened?
Yes. And I think just sort of, again, reflexively, the hand goes to the holy symbol. The might of the gold fist.
Sorry. So where do we go now? We've got the little girl. We've got this toy shop thing, which I don't know, that doesn't make any sense. We've got the ship. What else we got here? I'm looking at the pictures.
Well, the 2 of them were people, I think. But, I mean, that toy shop, it's in your part of town, Ursian. Have you ever been there?
I'm not the head babysitter of old Doc, so... not
No,
my
it's local?
specialty. I can give it a shot.
Was that a dig at me?
First roll of the season, knowledge local. I will say, also Confidence, that you have a message in your inbox Tiora's left behind.
Oh, hey.
Should have said that earlier, I guess. But oh well.
Rolled an 18, Chris.
18. There is most definitely a toy shop in Old Corvosa. It's actually fairly near to Corva's place. Gio Tori's Toys. Gia Tori's Toys.
I was just kidding, Ivor. I would never take a dig at you. I wish I could be a head babysitter of anything. No one trusts me with anything like that.
It's right by Racker's Alley.
Okay. Sorry again?
Gio Tori.
Tori.
Geo Metro. Sorry.
They go, it's Gio Tori's Toys. It's well known. I've walked by it. I can't say I've had much use to go in, but I know how to get there. It's not
Have you
far
heard of
from-
trouble there?
I don't think so. Like I
When
said,
I saw it, it looked closed, abandoned.
what time of night was it when you saw it?
Not sure. But it looked like it had been... It wasn't... I don't think it was the shop, though. There was an alley next to it.
I know that alley.
And this, I mean, if there's a plague, someone advertising cures, have either of you, and kind of look over at Simran and Nusine, seen this shop, Lavender something? It's near the academy.
Have we?
Wait, have we?
Knowledge local.
Okay.
All right, let's do this. 13.
13 for Simran.
24 for Nissim.
24 for New Scene. New Scene, you may have actually shopped here before, just because your foster parents are in the right income bracket for Lavender's, one of the better known and noted perfume boutiques in Corvosa. Right just off Summoning Street.
Oh, nice. I'll relay that to confidence in the group.
Perfume.
Mm-hmm. Fine perfume.
Perfume, toys. Who are the people you saw again?
There were 2 women. One of them, a Varisian woman. She was saying something about her brother. And the other one, well, I think she's coming to find us. I saw her outside.
Did it look like today?
I couldn't tell. But I don't think so. Too early in the day.
Okay.
I think, besides, our guardsman friend is going to be back any minute. That list shouldn't have been too hard to find. I just,
Yeah.
Right.
I still think we should go pay this kid a visit. At the very
Yeah.
least, we can make him feel better.
So, at that point, Grau appears, comes back, knocks, and then kind of opens the door hesitantly. I've got. He sees you all over by the wall. I've got what you asked for.
Then I think we're ready to be on our way. Can we follow you to Trail's End?
Please, right? Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm going to go take the stuff he bought and start packing it into a pouch.
Right.
A picnic basket.
It's probably a decent walk.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's on the other side of the river. We got to cross the bridge. What would I say? 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And you don't want to go through Thief Camp, actually. So really, you want to go through the city. 5, 10,
Yeah.
15. A good hour to walk all the way up to Trails, and it's definitely dark at that point.
We could take a boat, though, and that'd be faster, right? If we could get someone to take us.
Potentially. You'd
Do
be
you
going...
want to get on the water with the plague ship, or do you think that was not today?
I don't
Could
think
be
it's
interesting to keep a
transmitted
lookout for.
via osmosis.
Ivor didn't say that.
What's osmosis?
I think about that and then think about what Zalara told Nusine about the river, and I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah.
I'd like to think about what Ivor's been doing with his downtime.
Studying science.
Teaching science to children.
Science
Hey,
that doesn't
he's spent
exist
He
in
spent
this
a lot of
world.
time studying. Look,
We all know
osmosis
Ivor's-
exists in this world. They just don't know about it.
I don't know,
So
I got
it's
mad-
about an hour walk as you head up north to Trail's End.
Okay.
This community, it is made up primarily of Varisians with a few Shoanti as well. It's kind of an ostracized community. That's why some of the lesser privileged non-Chilaxian people have been pushed out. It's also poor income, of course, and reputedly dangerous. But as you're walking along the streets, it feels more like a small town than a city proper. Although you can still, in the darkness, see the looming shapes of Castle Corvosa and the Hall of Summoning beyond. He brings you up to a door and opens it and just strides in. The living chamber, the space beyond is lit by lamplight, and you can see a middle-aged woman, Varisian woman with lighter brown hair. She looks quite like her brother, though, and she looks up. Oh, Growl, what? Who are these? Who are these people? Excuse me, I'm sorry. She looks tired and she kind of pushes her hair. I'm Tace Soldado. She puts out a hand to greet you.
I shake it. Your brother came to us for some help about your daughter. She's ill?
Yes. As you like step into the room, you can see that the living room here. It looks like there's a kitchen beyond, and then stairs that go up to the left to the sleeping quarters, the bedrooms rather. But you can tell that this living space, there are 3 mats like rolled out, and 2 young boys are playing here as well. You can hear there's a clattering of noise from the kitchen, and Growl looks up. Is that priest still here? We can't afford his services, Tace. I know, Growl. It's just he insisted. He thought that some remedy, an herbal remedy, might help her. And he storms up. I'm going to check in on her. And he storms up the stairs.
Confidence. Should you go talk to the priest if you know him?
I should. I'll be back. Ivor, do you want to see if these fellows noticed anything strange before their sister got sick? And I look at the kids playing on the floor.
Okay. Sure, yeah. And Ivor kind of moves towards the kids and kind of sits down on the floor and says, hey, what are you playing?
Jacks. Like
Jacks.
they've got the little things on the floor and they're bouncing the ball.
I remember that game from when I was your age. That's a good game.
How old are you? They snicker to one another.
I'm super old.
What are the so Confidence is moving into the kitchen? And Tace just kind of like is like standing there. She looks and and she just kind of nods to Confidence as she passes by, and then she looks at the rest of you.
Simran's gonna follow Confidence out of nothing but curiosity.
Same.
Ursion?
I'm with him.
Okay, all right. So as they step into the kitchen, we'll continue the conversation with Ivor and the boys.
Yeah.
They have names.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Ivor. What's your name?
I'm Charlo, the older one, like puts out a chest. I'm Charlo, and this is my little brother Rello. Rello's like, I'm like a year younger than you, Charlo. They're like probably like 9 and 8 respectively.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, Charlo and Rello. It's too bad that your sister that your sister can't play Jax with you, right?
Brianna, yeah, she's been feeling really bad.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And I heard that it came on pretty fast, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Did you maybe this is weird, but did you happen to notice any weird stuff going on with her in the town in the days leading up to her falling ill?
No, not really.
What about you, Rello?
Can you make a diplomacy check?
Sure. Oh, we are not in Corvosa, right? So I don't get that bonus?
No, this is still Corvosa.
Oh, it's still Corvosa.
Yep.
Does Ivor get a circumstance bonus because they have babysitting skills?
Take a +2 circumstantial bonus to
Nice.
this.
Child diplomacy.
Yeah.
It just evens out your charisma.
I got a 9.
Nope, nothing. We don't know how she got sick.
Oh. Do I think that they're hiding something? The way that you said it, it seemed like you were hiding something. But I know that you are because you're the GM and you know everything.
Make a sense motive check.
Okay, I will.
It's not gonna be very hard.
On Chris, I think we already know.
17 sense motive. Too bad I didn't roll that on the diplomacy.
Right. So like Charlo seemed totally cool, of course, but Rella was like, "No, we don't know," and he like looks at his older brother, and then like looks back.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't see anything, you don't know anything, then I guess there's nothing I can do to help your sister, which is really too bad. But maybe if you remember something, maybe when you think about it more, you'll remember something that you did see. And if you tell me quickly enough, it'll probably be in time to help.
Oh. I don't know. A few nights ago, Brianna brought a whole bunch of crabs home, and we had a great dinner. But we all ate it, Charlo says, so it couldn't have been that.
She brought them home?
Yeah, she bought them.
She bought them?
Mm-hmm.
From where?
In town?
In town here? Not in the city.
No, in Northgate.
In Northgate. Do you wouldn't happen to know like the name of a shop or a vendor?
No.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
fine.
Sorry.
That I wouldn't expect you to know that. But she bought them in Northgate and brought them home and you all ate them.
Mom cooked them and then we ate them.
Okay. Well, that is very useful information. Thank you very much for sharing it with me.
Okay, and they both kind of look at your dragon badge. So then we like slide over. You can see the white-robed Vudran man, a light brown skin and dark brown short hair, with like a belt of keys, essentially like hanging from his golden sash. They kind of jingle as he moves, and there's a menthol, like a not menthol, like a menthol minty smell coming from this pot of herbs that he's stirring as the four of you, the other four, walk into the kitchen, and he turns. Sister Commissioner Confidence. Hello, it's Ishani Daughtry.
Brother Ashani. Good of you to make house calls in this part of the city.
I'm trying. He smiles.
I know there's only so much that the regulations permit. How's the child?
She's doing... Can you roll a sense motive check, Confidence?
Oh, can I ever?
This is what I woke up for.
That's right. 32?
Oh, mama.
Yeah, Ashani just like, you can see this great shame in his eyes. She's not doing well. And the tenants of Abadar restrict me from doing what I can. If only I have already expended his miracles for the day. So maybe tomorrow, but they can't afford it. So I'm doing my best. But why are you here?
We know the child's uncle came to us for assistance, seemed to think that you couldn't do anything for him, or you wouldn't.
It's not that he's not wrong.
So you don't even have the ability to attempt to cure the child today, even if funds could be found?
No. I think the best course of action would be to purchase a potion from the bank in the morning. If they were to find the funds. But this illness concerns me.
Why is that?
I've not seen anything like it, Confidence. She's covered in a rash of bright red pockmarks, coughing irregularly but violently, phlegm and sometimes blood coming up. I'm afraid that she's likely to die in a few days if it continues.
What? I'm gonna kind of look at him and say, I would be very interested to know. In fact, I would be willing to invest in finding out the answer if a cure could be made readily available from the bank. I have a feeling this won't be the last case of this disease we'll see. And I'd like to know if there's a cure. Whatever, I trust your medical opinion more than my own. And if you could have whatever remedy you think might suit sent over from the bank, I will pay for it. If I can also get a full report from you. And I'll get some more information from the parents about the effectiveness.
He sighs and looks down at his hands and then looks up at you, like barely catching your eye and definitely avoiding the gazes of the rest of the party members in here. If you would give me the funds, I will readily procure the potion for you, and I could be back this evening.
I'm gonna nod, and he seems to be mostly just like ashamed that he has to do this and not like, yeah, there's nothing else sort of wonky going on.
No, it's very much the shame that like not only can he not cure her disease, but he wouldn't be able to even if he could, due to the teaching.
Yes, yeah, I'm gonna say. As I said, the information is of value to me, and therefore I'm willing to pay for it. How much does he need?
It's 150 for the spell. We've been here before with.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Grau himself was 50 gold shy.
Yeah, let's do it.
You are as kind as you are gracious. Truly, Abadar has sent you here tonight, my friend. And he clasps your hands as he takes the pouch of money from you.
And I'm gonna look at him and say, truly, he has. Take heed, brother. Something is wrong. And I will find out what it is.
And he nods. Like, very much like, whoa, what just happened? OMG. Shawnee nods and quickly leaves. You can hear him, like, you can hear Taste being like, but brother Daughtry, the commissioner has paid for the potion. I will be right back. And like Tace runs into the kitchen and like slides to her knees in front of you, Confidence, and just like scoops you up into a hug.
Please don't.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to.
No, but I want you to tell me everything you can remember about how your daughter got sick. What happened leading up to it? Anything.
Well, a few nights ago. Got it. 2 nights ago. 2 nights? Or was it 3? I've barely slept. Brianna came home with food. She had found some extra coin and picked up some crabs for us. We feasted greatly. We all ate it. I prepared it. So it couldn't have been that got her sick. I can't imagine what it was. She's been in and out of consciousness for the last... So she's barely been able to say anything. I haven't gotten anything out of her, and the boys have just been so concerned. I've been trying to keep them distracted, and it's all I've been able to do to just keep myself together and clean myself. She's not doing well.
I am sorry to hear it. Did she tell you anything about where she was, where she got this extra coin, perhaps?
Somewhere in North Point. The children play there. I know that they mostly pick up money off the streets. I do my best to feed them, and I've told them not that they didn't need to do that, but a pinch here or there doesn't hurt, right?
I nod. I meant no judgment. Simply, perhaps there was some filth on a piece of the money.
There's filth all over these streets.
Of all sorts. I'm gonna take the herbs that I had her brother buy and be like, I don't know that these will do anything for your child, but they may help you get a little bit of rest.
Oh, thank you. She recognizes them as like rest and relaxation. Chamomile.
Yeah, just some tea.
Yeah.
Perhaps we could make an examination of your daughter.
Of course. I'll start the tea. Grow's up there already. She's in my room.
As we start going back to collect Ivor, I'm going to look over at the other three. Anything catch your attention? Anything magical, perhaps? Ever heard of anything like this?
DM, can we do a check?
You can roll Knowledge Arcana if you've got it. We'll save the heal check for when we're talking or looking at Brianna.
20 for Newsy. Dirty.
I'm 14 for Simran because I'm rolling like doo-doo today.
Oh. And I don't have Knowledge Arcana. Oh, it's shocking.
Knowledge Arcana. With your Dirty 20 new scene, you know you've read about magical diseases. Of course. Most undead have some sort of magical disease. I think. That's Chris kind of just assuming there.
Okay.
But yes, there are many and various ways of using magic to cause illness. But without any more information than that, it's hard to narrow down what could be the case here.
Right.
And that area, it seems most likely that wherever she was out, she came across something. I would guess.
Because she just found money.
Well,
Right.
Yeah.
what better to spread disease than to poison money that's left on the ground in a city
Right.
that's still in chaos?
Which
Mhm.
also leads us to believe that if that's a good plan, then it sounds intentional. There's nothing natural, or this sounds planned and
Brother-
intentional.
And we need to
Okay.
find a crab seller in Northgate.
What kind of limitations were the ones that you were referring to? As far as being able to heal the girl?
The Bank of Abadar does not practice charity.
Mm.
Everything
Nice.
has a price.
Understandable.
How convenient for the rich.
In some ways, but their prices are usually higher. I believe in an investment in our community, and I would like very much to see if a cure could be had, hence the disposal of funds.
Yep.
However, the good brother seemed not to believe I don't think he really thinks this is going to work. But it's better to be sure. I have something of my own I'd like to try.
What potion did he go to pick up, you think?
Based on the price, I would say something fairly basic. A palliative for most diseases.
Oh.
I'm assuming it was a potion of cure disease based on the
Yes.
price.
Right. Second level spell.
Like a true believer in Abadara, I figure it out based on the price tag.
And you know that it'll take a good hour for him to get there and back.
Yeah, I think we walk past Ivor on our way back upstairs and kind of motion.
Hey, Confidence, I learned something.
Yeah?
So the girl, Brianna, a couple nights ago, she brought back these crabs for dinner that she had bought in Northgate, and they all ate them for dinner. So it can't be. She couldn't have gotten sick from eating them, but maybe when she bought them, there was something. I don't know. She was touching them, or maybe touching something else at the cellar. We should find this crab cellar.
I think that's an excellent idea, Ivor.
Thanks.
You can hear like a spasm of coughs and growl as you step into the room upstairs. It's just one room. Definitely was Tace's room, but she's given up the bed to her daughter. The youngest of the three, about 6 years old. She's quite flush from like coughing. As Grau's sitting there, like holding her, you can see her face and like neck going down onto her upper chest is just covered in these this rash of pockmarks, so like minute and fine and spread all over.
Poor baby.
It almost looks like a veil.
How old is she?
About 6.
6? So she's younger than the boys.
Yes.
Missy will
She,
go
like,
over and
spasms
produce a
and drops.
handkerchief and provide it to the girl.
She can't even. She's like unconscious.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Brown nods and like takes the handkerchief and kind of like wipes at like her mouth.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over and just sort of look her over and see if anything sticks out to me about her condition as being odd or unusual or anything
Sure.
I can glean from it just by sort of making an examination.
Make a heal check, please.
Sure.
Come on, Confidence, you're our only hope.
12.
12. No, unfortunately, you cannot. You don't know what kind of disease this is. It does look different than what you're used to. You've seen rashes, pox even before, but the combination of this, and as he's like moving the handkerchief away, you can spot blood. You know that what I will give you for a 12 heal check is that this is draining her constitution and her
And her what?
charisma.
In that case, I'm going to do exactly what I was about to do to try and figure that out. Is I'm going to reach out and I'm just going to place my hand on her chest, and I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay. How much does that heal?
I believe it's 1d4 points of ability damage.
I think with
Okay,
lesser, it's
so
of
which one?
Right. Sorry.
So you have to pick one ability.
Constitution,
charisma.
probably.
Okay.
Charisma.
It is temporary ability damage only.
Right.
Yeah,
This is,
just, yeah.
because this is not. This is. I shouldn't have said it drained her because drain is not temporary. Excuse me.
Do you want me to roll that?
Yeah, please. She has taken. The book says exactly how much damage she's taken.
Oh, 1.
That's fine.
It also eliminates any fatigue suffered by the character and improves
Okay.
exhausted conditions to fatigue.
So as you do that, like you can see her breathing gets like ever so slightly clearer, and her eyes kind of flutter open, like, and then she instantly like breaks into a sweat. Uncle Grau, and he's like pushes her hair away. Hi, Brianna. Hi, hello. And he looks at you like, thank you. He mouths, thank you.
I'm gonna look at it and I'm remembering what Solara said to me about like my touch. I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
Just to see. I'm just trying to gather information. I kind of don't believe that this is going to actually cure what's causing this, but I might be able to buy her some time.
Right.
4.
Nice.
There you go. That's all of her con healed.
Yeah.
And while Confidence is
Back to
doing
you.
this, Nucine will take back the handkerchief and put it in a vial.
Yep.
Yeah, girl.
That one.
I will let you know that she has a 9 Constitution score, and she had taken 4 points of damage.
Whoa.
She was from that, so she was
Yeah.
very. It was quite
Poor
sick.
baby.
And she took sick yesterday? Is that the time
No.
table?
2 days.
A couple of
ago.
days ago.
2 days? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get
That
an
was-
idea.
That was the other thing I was trying to suss out.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a great job.
Could do it one more time, but I'm gonna hold back. I could heal the
Simran will-
charisma damage.
Simran will go up to Confidence and tell her in her ear that we also have a potion if you want to use that.
You could also help her charisma score. I mean, it's not a good look, but whatever.
Oh,
I'm gonna
gee.
kind of try and see if I can ascertain like how much better she looks from that. Just like kind of sussing it out.
She's breathing way better. Like the flush is kind of like she looks like the fever is breaking, even if it's just momentarily.
I'm gonna kind of look at Grawl and kind of motion to the hallway. I'm not gonna say this or this little girl can hear me.
He nods.
But kind of as he steps out, be like, at best, I've bought her a little bit of time. I can't cure this. Hopefully, when the brother comes back, he will have a solution. But
What's he gonna do for us? The bank doesn't care about us. The bank doesn't care about anyone.
he's bringing a potion.
We can't afford that.
You do not have to.
We can't afford that.
You brought us
I'm-
information about this entire thing. Because of you, we might be able to help a lot more people. You coming to us has been an invaluable help to us as well as to your niece. This is a good thing. You're helping the city. You're doing charity to us by giving us information, for trusting us with this. This is what the KIA does.
Okay.
If we are able to figure out quickly how to stop this, if it affects anyone else, we will have the information we need to fight it.
Okay. Thank you.
But I hope that you will remember what Ursion said, and if you ever think of more information that we might want to know, you know what to do.
He nods. And he goes downstairs.
Can I talk to Brianna?
Sure. She's kind of like up. You've walked away, but she's awake now.
Hey, Brianna.
Who are you? Hi.
I'm Ivor. I'm a professional babysitter.
You sit on babies?
Well, I don't physically sit. I mean, if it needs to happen. No, I look after kids. You know, while their parents are away.
That's where babies come from.
Mommy's always
Shh,
working.
don't tell her. She's too young for that. Yeah. Hey, so you've been having kind of a rough time these past couple days, huh? Not feeling so.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah, man, that really does suck. Hey, yeah, you know, and before you were feeling sick, your brothers told me that you had just come back from the city with dinner for everybody, and you had a really nice meal, and that was really great. And you know, then the past few days have been really bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember where you got the food that you brought back?
Maybe.
Do you want to tell me?
It was this little stall by the gate, by the gate of right by Northbridge.
Yeah?
Right before you come home.
Oh, do you go there a lot?
Well, sometimes my brothers run away from me.
Well, they're boys, and boys are stupid. I would know.
But I get scared,
You get scared by what?
being alone sometimes.
Oh. Well, that's not something that you're going to have to worry about now, because while you're here in this bed, your family is always going to be with you.
Okay.
Hey, do you remember the person that you bought the crabs from? Do you remember what they looked like?
It was an old lady.
An old lady? Is she normally at that stall? You know, when you've been there in the past? Was it the same woman?
Yeah.
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 She's the crab lady.
She's not always crabs.
What else does she sell?
Sometimes last year she did mushrooms.
Oh, that's cool. Those are
Mhm.
kind of different things. Those kind of grow in different places, huh?
Right.
So maybe she probably didn't fish for those crabs herself. She probably just sells them.
Maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, she's a seller. She
She's a
sells
seller.
things.
She's an old lady. She's got gray hair.
Uh-huh.
Okay, she's an old
Mhm.
lady,
Gray hair.
gray hair.
She has a basket.
She has a basket.
A big basket.
Is that where she puts all the stuff that she sells?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And she has a stall.
No.
No stall.
No,
Just a
but it's
basket.
like a spot.
She has a spot that's her regular place. She goes there with her
Mhm.
basket and she sells food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I think it was very nice of you to get dinner for your family, and now your family is gonna show you how much they appreciate it by taking really good care of you while you're here.
Is my mommy here?
She's
She's
downstairs.
just making herself a cup of tea. She'll be right here. I know you're tired, Brianna, but I want to ask you just a few more questions, if that's okay.
Okay.
Where did you find the money to buy dinner for your family? That was really nice of you to do.
Well, it was by Jagari Place.
You just found it on the side of the street? How lucky.
Well, it wasn't really that lucky.
No?
No.
Why not?
Well, it probably belonged to someone. It was in a belt pouch. It was big. It was the biggest I'd ever seen.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Can I see it? I promise I won't take it.
Oh, well, I don't. Oh, it was in my bag. And she like it's like a little tote bag that she's
Mhm.
like kind of miming. She like looks around and there's a pile of clothes, like her stuff that's been like put in the corner, and she points over there.
I'm gonna go look through it.
Indeed, as you do, there's a belt pouch that like easily looks like it just slides onto a belt and then snaps shut.
Does it have
It's empty. It's empty.
markings, monograms, anything on it?
No, nothing that's
Okay.
very obvious.
Well, that was a big day, finding this, buying dinner. Did anything else happen?
No, we played hide and seek, and I was
Fun.
hiding, and then
Mhm.
I found this, and then, well, I got some candy.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I bought a doll.
Oh, a nice
and
doll?
She was okay, mostly made of hay, but she was cute. But then my brothers knocked her into a puddle.
Oh no. Where did you
Um,
get the doll? Thinking of Toy Store on Murder Board.
Well, oh, there's this old witch in Jagari Place, named Nanny.
Oh yes, I know Nanny.
Really?
Mm. Yes, she gave me this. I'm gonna pull out the wand.
Is that magic?
It is.
Oh.
I'm gonna just kind of nod and say, "You try and get some sleep. Your mama will be right back."
Shall we fast forward?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then in another like 30 minutes, probably, Shani returns. The man is like sweating because it's not full autumn yet. Like it's still fairly warm outside, and but he pulls from his pouch a potion of cure disease, and he hands it to Taste, who breaks out in tears and runs upstairs. Here, honey, drink this. And Brandon makes a face as she drinks it, but like her mom just like holds it like.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this flash of gold as the pox just disappears. Her sweat, her fever like completely broken, the sweat dissipating. She almost like looks a little like cleaner after the like the magic like comes off, like a little less oily, a little less greasy. She laughs and like stands up on the bed. Her constitution's totally been cured, so she's got like a whole bunch of energy now. And ooh, hey, welcome party! Thanks for raiding. We just saw a young girl being cured of a vicious disease. She
We all
jumps
took
up
a
on the
breath.
bed and she's like, "Yay!" And she hugs her mom, who's like,
Aw.
"Oh my god, baby, my baby," and growls up in there, and he's like, "Oh," and then the brothers run in, "Oh," and like the whole family's there together, and Ashani is at the bottom of the stairs, like looking up, just like moving his mouth, praying.
So, what have we learned?
We have work to do.
Yes.
This spreads fast, but there are not enough potions to go around, though this is a good sign, I imagine.
I think so. When there's
Where
a
are we before we keep chatting? Are we
Good
outside the
question.
house?
I was gonna say
left?
before we leave, I want to pull Grau over and just tell him to keep us- Grau, sorry.
Yeah.
Pull Grau over.
Grau.
Grau. I will pull him over and just tell him to keep us updated if anything changes.
You'll know.
And if
You'll
you
know.
see anyone else get sick, you know what to do. And we're gonna walk off cool into the night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Ashani leaves with you. Hold on. I imagine you're all crossing the North Bridge together,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and before he stops at the Bank of Abadar, the large golden building at the top, surrounded by like these many very small steps, and this great big gold fence that kind of like keeps people at bay essentially from the vaults. Ashani stops. I'm worried. Would you mind? I think the Corvosan Guard should know about this strange disease. You don't think?
A guardsman was the man you spoke to.
Right, but you, Commissioner, have better connections than me or the sergeant. Would you meet me here tomorrow and introduce me to the field marshal?
What is going, like, there seems to be more going on here than what he's just saying.
That's true.
You don't
know
know
the
the photos.
It's called
Yeah, sorry,
networking.
that's what I was going for. Sorry, I don't like.
32 again.
No, don't even bother rolling. You know that there's something more.
It was actually a 32 again.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm psychic.
What?
What do you say?
I say, do you not have faith in the higher powers of your order? That you would seek mere earthly guards? You, as you saw, are the one with the power to change this, brother.
My power is tenuous. My power is restricted. But, and he looks at all of you. Yours is not. I've seen similar signs of sickness. This is not the first case.
First we're hearing of it.
There's a reason I wasn't able to cast my spells anymore today. I've already healed a few others.
How many? How many have
2.
you seen? How many more are there that you've seen? How many households are? How long until people start talking? People start finding they have similar stories until a panic breaks out.
I don't know.
Where?
They've come in to the bank. That was one of the first house calls I've made this week. But
From different regions, from different areas of the city.
yes,
Not good. It's not good at all.
it seems like most of them, for now, are coming from the eastern side of the river, Trails End and East Shore.
Intriguing. Brother, we can make a deal. Give me all of the information you have on these people. Names, locations, anything you know. And I will arrange for an introduction to the field marshal.
Please do. I'll stay up all night collecting my findings. If we could go first thing tomorrow. Just as soon as possible.
I nod and I give him the location of the office and I say, meet me there, bring what you have,
I will.
and then we'll go and meet with Field Marshal Croft.
I will. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. The rest of you stalk off.
Yeah. I look around and I say, I think there's some people. I might try to find some information. I'm gonna go. I'll come back to headquarters tomorrow.
Stay safe.
Well, I say as I kind of nurse the black guy.
I was just saying, I completely forgot that Ursian's
Oh my god, yeah, actually, before you go, I think I'm gonna kind of walk up and just say, and don't look like such an easy target. And I'm just gonna grab your chin and cast Cure Wounds to close up the black eye.
Simran's gonna come up behind Confidence and say, hey, and if you get into fights, make sure to at least ask about the toy store while they're punching you.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, a lot to do. It's still early. A lot of work left, but don't worry. I'll be around tomorrow. I'm right where I need to be. He says as he kind of awkwardly shuffles off, and then as soon as he takes a few steps back, turns and like actually kind of runs off.
I'm just gonna watch, just like
We all just like tilt our head to the side at the same time.
I assume 12 points of healing is enough to get rid of a black eye and a split lip.
probably.
And hey, guys, I've got ranks in stealth now, so
Oh,
you know.
snap.
Who are you and what have you done
Unstoppable
with
human
it?
fighter.
Okay. Before we end the session, let's fast forward a little bit. Few hours. Confidence. Well, it would definitely. Ursion would definitely wake up if he's even asleep in the middle of the night. Probably like, let's say 3 o'clock, 3:30. The rest of you, I don't know. So make perception checks as cannons ring out across the city.
Oh.
What?
20.
24.
14.
Sorry, Ivor. You're asleep.
Okay.
22.
Slept through an
Lucine.
earthquake. It
Who is
happens
not
to the
asleep?
best of us.
But the rest of you are all jolted awake as cannons sound across the city. And I feel like Ursion happens to be on one of the many bridges that cross between Corvosa and Old Corvosa. And as he looks to the east, he sees a ship in the fog bearing 3 lights on its prow. Cannons crash from the wall along main shore, it bursting into the ship itself, and Ursion happens to catch it sinking beneath the waters of the river Jagare. And that is where we'll end the session.
Oh, no.
Goodness gracious.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
What a
From
way
political
to kick
intrigue to
off.
plague?
Yes.
Maybe they're related.
Like, maybe.
I feel pretty good about that session, y'all.
yeah, good.
I'm glad the child didn't die. I'd be very upset if the child died.
Right,
True.
right. For our dear viewers who still with us, thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate seeing all of your chats. For those who joined us from Welcome Party RPG, thank you for the raid. If you don't know, Welcome Party is a very awesome Twitch channel. They stream role-playing games, and it's a very queer and inclusive space. So I'm big fans of them. Okay, so we'll be back next Tuesday, every 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, with a Cage Sustained. Check the games banner down below for the greater calendar. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Join the Discord if you want to talk about things in the meantime. You know the drill. Everybody's doing it. Get on board. Come game with us.
Come on,
And
what do you win?
just quick shout out for those of you who are with us since the beginning of the stream. You saw a very cool new development. We have some character art. Yay!
Woo!
So I just
Right.
want to give a shout out and a big thank you to our amazing artist, whose name I will probably butcher. But Beatrice, thank you so much. We look forward to all the
Right.
forthcoming developments.
And we'll be doing some reveals with that artwork
Yes.
over the next few weeks.
And we'll definitely put a link to her page on
Yeah.
the on the show notes below. So we'll update that tonight.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
unless that's
Yeah,
Good night,
thank you
everyone.
guys.
Thanks.
All
Season
right.
2!
Season 2, guys.
We'll
Next
see
week.
you next time.
Bye.